Episode 201. After your 30th birthday, everything is bonus.
You're listening to the very best podcast in the world on health, wealth, and happiness. Please remember to leave a review and share with all your friends and family. And here is your host, Lars Hilser.
And we have surpassed the 200 marker, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the very best podcast in the world. Your only source in the universe for personal supremacy through health, wealth, and happiness. Now, I was on the phone with a friend yesterday evening, and we were talking, about a variety of issues. We did some long overdue catching up. And we, ended up kind of determining that in the Middle Ages, your average age wasn't going to go past 34, which means that, at 34, you were dead. Your life was over. And I, didn't let go of me. And I started to kind of investigate down that route and, found some interesting numbers and, kind of like interesting correlations between age and longevity and, that kind of ordeal, which we will be going through right after we're going to go through our housekeeping routine. Views and opinions expressed herein are my own, yada, yada, yada. Sharing is caring. So that, keep in mind that, while this episode may be interesting or, maybe not so much for you, perhaps it is going to be interesting for somebody else in your, sphere of influence, friends, family, whatever. And please, in that sense, make sure to share, not only this episode, but obviously all the other 200 episodes, not only with your friends and family, but essentially with the world through your social media channels. This podcast is purely altruistic, despite one or two offers I've already received to, go into sponsorship models or whatever. I haven't sold out, so not my type. So in that sense, the further you spread it, the more people we're going to help. And, that's essentially what the mission of this podcast is, so that nobody needs to fall for, any of these wallet rapists out there who promise you essentially the same thing, but charge you obscene amounts of money for it. As you've noticed, I'm restraining myself to stop using bad words because I went from marking the podcast episodes as explicit to not doing so anymore. So, now that we have the housekeeping done, let's get down to business. Now, why is this important and how did we get there? Our discussion was, mainly about medical issues because we're both surpassed the age of 40, which means that in the Middle Ages, we would have been dead I got my data screwed up. In the Roman Empire. So between the Roman Empire and the Middle Ages, we would have been dead already. And, so we came to the conclusion that everything beyond your 30th birthday is a bonus. Now, the median age in the Roman Empire was 33. In the Middle Ages, it had already increased to 55, but not a lot has happened since then. So, even in more advanced countries, the life expectancy is, still around 80, a little bit above. And insurance corporations were in the early 2000s calculating that a then born girl would have a median age of 100 years or older. And then interesting things started to happen. I started to make inquiries because I was just curious whether, that was 100 age, that 100 years of age and older had any quality of life to it. Because what I noticed from my exposure to that was that the elderly deteriorate significantly depending on culture a lot. Let me give you a brief example. Having lived in the United States, our neighbor across the street must have been in his late 60s already when we were over there. And he was very, very, very fit, both mentally and physically. While you would observe other people, for instance, in Northern Europe, who were, visiting the doctor more frequently. They were, making a big hassle out of their health issues. It was number one topic at any, gathering that, did you hear that, person XY came down with cancer and, so on and so forth. It wasn't that these issues weren't discussed in the United States when I lived there. They were there, they were present, but they were treated, I would almost say disrespectfully. It wasn't, I've come down with cancer, I may die. It was like, I have come down with cancer, I'm going to battle it. I'm going to fight with it. And I think mentality plays a major role in longevity. So, that as a side note. Where did I want to go with this? Right. The Middle Ages, in England, landholding families, the median age was 31.3 years of age. And that's interesting because, you had to get there. You had to survive your childhood, which apparently wasn't that easy, if you believe the science that's behind that. And so I'm starting to formulate the question whether and how we can become more appreciative of that everyday bonus that we get after our 30th birthday. And that's what we started investigating during this call. We were talking about the whole corona crisis. We were talking about different health issues. And I was like, okay, can we agree upon the fact that we're doing good? We're getting gray hair. We're not, our stamina is decreasing. Something we can live with, but hey, we've got good lives, very good lives. Both of us do. And it's like, can't we ban all of that negativity from our head and just enjoy the bonus we get every day? And I think that's really the very brief point that I wanted to put into context. Now, only about 2,000 years ago, most of us would have been dead. The average age group of people listening to this podcast, or the highest age group, are the ages of 34 to 55. Let's face it, most of us would have been gone by now. And I think, that's what you need to, that's what we all need to learn to be more appreciative of, is that the gift of life, of long life, that we have in today's society, with all the medical hubbub that we have, believe in it or not, right? It's totally up to you. You can believe in alternative medicine, whatever suits your fancy, but your life expectancy is double that of what it was, or way over double of what it was only 2,000 years ago. And that's like, 20, 30 generations. So I hope I was able to get that point across. And all y'all are going to be more appreciative and start your Monday into this week contemplating that and wrapping your head around that. And hope you have a nice rest of your Monday. And if you've already had your Monday, have a good night. And we're going to wrap this up here. I'm going to say bye, folks. And we're going to be in touch tomorrow We're going to talk about 11 ways to prolong your life. What a coincidence. See you tomorrow, folks.